Yesterday, like you, I heard the news of Charlie Kirk's murder and witnessed the videos online shortly after. This on the heels of the outrageous, racially motivated murder of a Ukrainian refugee woman, Irina Karutskaya. Last night and through this morning, I observed many different voices and faces reacting to this latest event with a changed energy and tone from years past. For a long time now, myself and other nationalists like me have been crying out of the dangers and threats being imposed on our people in our home, and this morning, my heart breaks for many of those same voices and faces. The solemn realization is now settling into the hearts of many who are like unaware passengers on a train to hell, looking out the window and seeing the scenery for the first time. It is the better nature of us all to believe that good will prevail, that the truth will come, and that there are no such thing as monsters in the darkness. The naive being rocked awake so that we may defend ourselves is something many have hoped and prayed for, but to see it happening in the daylight, the pain, fear, and worry in their hearts and on their faces saddens and angers me greatly. Since I was 15, on this, the anniversary of 9/11, my world has been an ongoing saga of catastrophe, murder, terrorism, war, and hatred. My innocence died shortly after, perhaps like yours may have died today. All the while, the same liars, schemers, thieves, and narcissistic fraudsters in politics and media have done nothing but chase personal profits and personal agendas, while the everyday men and women, fathers like Charlie Kirk, pay the price. You will not need to look far to see the true face of the so-called loving left, who last night and this morning are enthusiastically celebrating and mocking the death of Mr. Kirk. It may now be somewhat more understandable why some nationalists protect their identity with a mask. My life, Morgan's, our friends and family, have been threatened repeatedly in the past, encouraged by the stochastic terrorism practiced by media pundits, commentators, and even politicians. In a Saskatchewan jail in 2022, I escaped an ignorant and hate-fueled attempt on my own life, intentionally incited by the efforts of the Canadian anti-hate network and media. Canada is no stranger to political terrorism. I often cite the case of the now deceased pedophile and Antifa member David Zegarak, who in 2022 drove his mother's Jeep into a crowd of Canadian patriots supporting the Freedom Convoy from Winnipeg, calling them white supremacists. Over half a dozen people were seriously injured, and Zegarak was only given house arrest for this disgusting act of political terrorism on defenseless and unaware Canadians. Some in the same media circles today who demanded you disown your own families during the holidays, during the nation's darkest times, as a consequence for not adhering to their own militant political beliefs on COVID-19, have yet again found a way to make this tragedy about themselves, oblivious to their own criminal role in the ongoing and worsening violence. The enemy we face is not a mere political party, a business, or even a foreign country. It is an animating spirit of malevolence and hatred that seeks to destroy life itself. What was once a dark whisper in the corners of society few dared look can now be found as a roar everywhere in our media, politics, police, judiciary, our streets, and our schools, where our children go to learn. Our way of life, our understanding of ourselves, and all that we hold dearly as sacred and good in this world is under relentless, sustained attack, and its foot soldiers are the weakest of our society who succumb to their insecurities and temptations to trample the defenseless. Look to social media today and witness the reactions to the death of Mr. Kirk. Liberal and conservative politicians alike have helped this environment along year after year, pandering and compromising, always giving ground to this spirit of evil in the same name of their careers and bottom lines of their donors and their owners. Only nationalists have the clear eyes to see, the strength to stand, and the heart to fight. Our love for each other, our people, and our home cannot be intimidated or bribed away. It cannot be gaslit or destroyed. They fear us most of all. We are the future, and the future is not debate. It is justice. A sober Christian family man, father of two, who dedicated his life to open debate, conversation, in the hopes of rising above the muddy and bloody horrors our enemies enjoy, became a positive, influential voice to young American men. And in recent months, Charlie had begun to criticize and become suspicious of Israeli influence in American politics and its support of a terrorist state. He disclosed to a friend that he feared for his life should he be too critical of Israel, and no suspect has yet been found. Infighting of any kind, left versus right, Christians versus pagans, men versus women, boomers versus zoomers, hatred for the Russian people, hatred for your own neighbors. All of it is tolerated or even encouraged, monetized by profiteers in the political grift game. But the moment you band together as a family against outside influences who seek to take advantage of your infighting, you will be labeled as an extremist and a neo-Nazi. His death is being celebrated as the death of a neo-Nazi extremist all the same. If this is what they are happy to see happen to Charlie, what does that mean for the rest of us? They didn't kill me. They didn't kill any of my contemporary peers. They killed Charlie Kirk, a patient, loving man with a family and a bright future. He believed we could talk together and reason our way to a better tomorrow with people who hate us. I never met or interacted with Charlie, and had we done so, we would have agreed to disagree aggressively on our worldview and solutions. Charlie Kirk was a moderate, not a radical. He was a decent man who loved his country, and they killed him anyway. No words of mine can assuage the anxieties of today, but if there is one thing I've come to know is the truth in this fight is that it is never the wrong thing to stand with your own family, hold them close, and defend them like lions against all comers. The spirit of hatred and bloodlust is alive and well, emanating from precisely those people who have made lucrative careers pretending to fight it. It is not the true wish or fantasy of the fighter and the warrior to be called and needed, because when they are, it is the darkness of human nature, when diplomacy, compromise, and reason have failed, when the better of us, like Charlie Kirk, rather than be accepted and listened to with an open hand, are put down with a bullet. Our existence is non-negotiable. You can stand beside us, you can stand behind us, or you can get out of the way. The hearts of the Canadian people go out today to the Kirk family and our brothers and sisters in the United States who this morning face a reckoning long in the making. The enemy's greatest weapon is fear. Do not give in to intimidation and shy away from the fight. Charlie didn't. With love and support from your cousins in the North, God bless America.